Let's go on to learn some concept of quadratic radical. The simplest quadratic. What is the simplest quadratic? Here it must the number to taken does not contain in the denominator. The second, the number taken square does not contain a factor or factor that can be fully opened. We call the quadratic like this that satisfy the above two conditions of the simplest quadratic. This is a very important concept. Let's go on to homogeneous quadratic. In general, the quadratic form, when reduced to the simplest quadratic form, are called homogeneous quadratic forms, and they can be the same number of squares. And then we can use it to multiply or minus. Okay, let's go on. We learn the addition and subtraction of quadratic roots. Here, the rule 1, the rule first, quadratic radical plays addition and subtraction. First, we have turned each quadratic radical into a simplest quadratic radical, and then combine the quadratic radical with the same number of square roots. The measuring method is the confusion phrase addition and subtraction. Just like, for example, the root of 8 plus the root of 12 plus the root of 2. Here, 8 equals 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, we can write it into the 2 times the root of 2. And here, we know 12 equals 2 times 2 times 3. Here we can write it into 2 times root of 3. And here, the root of 2. Here is the simplest quadratic rational, and it's the place addition. Here we can add it. Here is 3 times the root of 2, and here we can add it to 1. Let's pay attention. Step, there's the braces. Remove them according to the rule of removing braces. Simplify the quadratic, and which is not simplest quadratic. Then combine the quadratic roots with the same number. Here in the root is the same. We call it's the same number of square roots. We can edit them. We must have pay attention. Similar of the addition of subtraction, the injection form, the addition of the subtraction of the quadratic radical is the quadratic radical of the same number of the square root after its simplifications. When measuring, only the coefficients of the quadratic roots are added or subtracted, and the square root number and the root exponent remain unchanged. Just like we said, 2 times root of 2 plus root of 3. Here is the end, the final answer. The second, the coefficient in the quadratic root cannot be written as mixed factors. Third, the addition and subtraction of quadratic radical also satisfy the commutative law of addition and associative law. A new math knowledge. Have a logical denominator. To rationalize the denominator means remove the square root of the denominator. Denominator is often rationalized by multiplying the quadratic root itself. For example, the root of the 1 divided by the root of 3, we can times itself, times here times root of 3, and here is 3, and root of 3 is the end answer. We call it the quadratic root itself by multiplying itself. Denominator has only one term by forming the square of formula with the original denominator. Here, for example, the denominator is root of a. We can times root of a is equals a. But here, let's know if the root of a plus root of b, we can, for example, here, we can times the root of a minus the root of b. Here, okay, it's the same. The denominator is a minus b, and here is root of a minus root of b. If you have any question, please send me a private message.
Let's go! My